Hello, my name is Alvin, Master Numerologist, and today I would like to continue in my series on exit points. An exit point is the day, the month, the year, and the age that a soul leaves the body. Today, I would like to talk about Lisa Lopes, known to the world as Left Eye. Lisa Lopes, nicknamed Left Eye, was an American rapper, dancer, and singer-songwriter who lost her life at the age of 30 due to a car crash. At the time of her death, her net worth was about $5 million. But the true worth could never be measured by dollars, but by the size of one's heart. And Lisa Lopes had a giant one. Lisa Lopes made her transition on April the 25th, 2002. Her first core number, 4, because April is the 4th month, revealed a lady who wasn't afraid of work. Very detail-oriented, organized, and focused on getting the job done. For you see, the number 4 energy is a very heavy type of vibrational energy. It's a heavy lifter, a strong organizer, and very much disciplined. A very good usage of time well spent. Now, Lisa's second subcore is the number 7, which consists of two sub-elements, the 2 and the 5, because she left on the 25th. So 2 plus 5 is 7. So her subcore is the number 7, but her sub-elements is the number 2 and the number 5. Sub-elements modify the personality and the behavior of the subcore. Okay, so the first sub-element is the number 2. Now, the 2 vibrational energy is associated with group. It's a group player. And Lisa was part of a lady trio called TLC, which will qualify for a group energy. But she was also very active in working on projects with other performers, such as Darnell Jones, NSYNC, Toni Braxton, just to name a few. Now, the second sub-element is the number 5. And this particular sub-element played a very important role in her life because of her birth cycle. And I'm going to share that information with you guys in a little bit. But her birth cycle has a predominantly vibration of the number 5. For an example, she was born in the month of May, and May being the 5th month. Now, the 5 energy is an energy of playfulness. The 5 energy is attracted to things on a pleasurable level because it deals with the 5 physical senses. A 5 energy do have a tendency to overindulge in areas such as sex, food, drugs, and alcohol. So a 5 energy have to become aware of that. A 5 energy enjoys change, and a 5 energy can become very impulsive, impatient, and a 5 energy is known to change directions on you without a moment's notice. So the 5 energy is an energy that needs discipline, groundation. It needs to be directed. It needs to become more focused. The 5 energy enjoys having a good time, and it don't want to be tied down to responsibilities. So the second sub-element is the number 5. Sub-elements do not carry as much weight as the core, but it does modify the personality and the behavior other subcore, and the major core vibrational energy. So the second sub-element, number 5, played a very important role in Lisa Lopez's life. Being born in the month of May, May being the 5th month, highlights an individual who had to work on striking a balance between work and play. The 4 energy is work, the 5 energy is play. You have to draw a balance because a 4 energy will overexert itself. A 4 energy will have a tendency to constantly work to the detriment of the individual self. So a 4 energy has to learn to take 5. Whereas on the other hand, the 5 energy has to learn to discipline and to learn the value of what the fruits that hard work can bring about. So they're in contrast to each other, and they can work to balance each other off. So, so she got to work on balancing between work and play, which is the 5th energy sits in opposition to the 4. Now, like I said, the 5 energy becomes attracted to sex, drugs, food, and alcohol, and they are the type of traps that entangles a number 5 energy. And they develop these type of habits. And Lisa was known at times to struggle with alcohol because she had a very strong 5 influence. And if that 5 energy is not checked by a 4 or a 1 or an 8, then that 5 energy is like, 5 energy is just like air. And like a leaf that's caught up in the air, the wind would just flutter the leaf around to the left, to the right, up and down, just swirl it around and around and around. It has no purpose. It has no direction. It has no focus. So it's important for the 5 energy to know this about their personality and to make sure they keep it in check. Okay, now, but when you add the both sub-elements of the 2 and the 5, you're going to get the spiritual foundation energy of the 7 energy. Now, the 7 energy is an inward energy, but you will see a lot of outward personality because the 5 energy is an outer energy, and so the 5 and the 7 energy sits in contradiction to one another or sits in opposition to one another. So this 7 energy would be deeply grounded in spiritual manner, but would have a very playful attitude about itself, would not take its serial pursuits too serious, but it will need time for inner reflection. The 2 energy means that the 7 energy, which is a mystic or someone that's extremely in tune to one's inner self, would also enjoy being in the company of others. Usually, a personality of a 7 is very reserved in nature because it spends a lot of its time going inward. But because of the 2-5 sub-elements, you're going to see it modify the personality and the behavior of the 7 vibrational energy. But anyhow, the 7 energy reveals a lady who had a very strong understanding about life and death. And she was very fond of saying that energy never dies, it just transforms. Now, she died in Honduras, and while she was on a spiritual retreat with her family and with some friends, and this showed and she also showed a new interest in New Age thought, such as my profession, numerology, and in yoga. So those are all 7 vibrational frequencies: spiritual retreats, taking an interest in New Age thought like numerology, and as well as having a spiritual discipline of the body by applying in different yoga techniques. Now, Lisa's third sub-core, which is the number 4, consists of only 2 sub-elements, but they're double 2s. And this creating a very strong 6 pattern because when you add the first sub-element from the day of her departure, that is a 2 energy there. And those 3 2s is offering a very strong window to the inner personality of Lisa Lopes. And those three twos, the two twos that come from the year of her departure, and the first two from the second sub-element, which is a two, because she left on the 25. Those are three twos. And we will see this sixth energy pop up again later on in the analysis. But I just wanted to inject that right quick. But the double twos, in numerology, 22 is what we refer to as a master number. And a master number sits way up in the heavens. It's a very strong, very intense, very intuitive, very psychic, very Herculean type of vibrational frequency. And a lot of individuals really cannot live up to the demands of a 22, or they cannot handle the power that lies within them. Even though the potentiality is there, it has to be cultivated. So, but anyhow, when you reduce the 22 down, you're going to get the number 4 energy. Now, the 4 energy is a good, strong, grounding type of vibrational energy, and this is going to help her to keep that 5 energy that's in her birth cycles in check. A 4 energy is very directional. It's like a 1. It's very directional. It's very grounded. It has purpose, and that is a good number to keep the 5 energy in check. So the second subcore, number 4, helps to bring a sense of balance to a soul who enjoy the physical pleasures of life. Also, when combined with the first subcore, because she left in April, you create the number 8, and the 8 energy rules wealth, fame, fortune, and through hard work and discipline. So the 4 energy will acquire wealth not through laziness, but by planning and strategizing and having a sense of discipline. And Lisa Lopes was able to achieve fame and fortune because of her good, strong work ethic. Now, now Lisa's 3 twos also took some of the hardness off of the 4 energies, allowing them to yield and not becoming too rigid. So once again, if it's not for the twos, then the 4 energies will get like rigid, will get stuck, wouldn't know how to like take fire from a project. They'll be carrying like too much weight upon their shoulders, and in time that weight will start affecting them physically, psychologically, as well. They may take the attitude that they have to carry everything upon their shoulders, and that's not true. You have to learn to sometimes set your heavy burden down. So those twos and those sixes was helping to soften the vibration of the 4 energy, allowing the individual to be able to have other outlets other than always finding the need to have to work. Okay? Now, when we're going to add our first subcore, which is the number 4, is added to the second 2 sub-elements. So we're going to add the 25 and the 4 together, and then we're going to add that to her 4 sub-elements of 2002, and we're going to get a compound number of 2031. Now, the first and third elements is going to create a number 5 because 2 plus 3 is 5, and this is very playful. But the third and the fourth sub-elements, which is the 3 and the 1, is going to interject in discipline. So the 4 and the 5 energy are sitting neck to one another. But the 4 is checking the 5, and the 5 is checking the 4. So this is a very good balance here. It's a very good balance. So the third and fourth sub-element, the 3 and the 1 creates the discipline 4. Both number keep each other in check. Now, when we add all the 4 sub-elements together, that's the 2, and the 0 makes 2, plus the 3 makes the 5, plus 5 makes the 1. You get that 6. Now, the 6 energy is her major core. That's like her major heartbeat. And I told you that we'll see it again because the first indicators was those 3 twos that lined up. In Lisa Lopes' heart of hearts, in her center, her passion was not the acting. Her passion was not the singing and the performing, even though that was very strong aspect of her. Her passion really dealt with her very strong uh, need for home and family and for relationship. It was a very passionate, it's a very inwardly type of vibrational energy. It's a very self-sacrificing type of vibrational energy. And for example, the sixth energy is about motherhood and the love for children, and that was really was in the center of her heart. Like a few days before she left her body, she was a passenger in a van, which actually hit a 10-year-old child. And the van stopped and placed the child in the van, and then the van was traveling to the nearest hospital. But while en route to the hospital, Lisa held the dying boy's bleeding head in her arms. That's a very good, strong indicator of just the motherly vibration coming out. And also, Lopez started the Lisa Lopez Foundations, which is a charitable group dedicated to providing neglected and abandoned youth with the resources necessary to increase their quality of life. Another sixth energy, social service, given to others that's that perhaps is at a disadvantage. Now, before her death, she was setting up an educational center for Honduran children on 80 acres of land that she owned. All very strong indicators of just where her heart, her passion really lied. To the world, we saw her as a rapper and as a songwriter and as a singer, and all those are true of her. But when you pull away those veils, the thing that lies behind the veil for Lisa Lopez was a very strong urge to be a mother. Lisa Lopez left her body at the young, tender age of 30. The number 3 rules the voice and the mouth. So Lisa Lopez, she came to earth to tell us a thing or two. And you know what? We listen. So let me show you on paper Lisa Lopez vibrational energies right quick. Uh, as you can see, she was born in the month of April. I mean, she left in April. And April is the 4 energy is always a heavy energy, a very disciplined energy, a very grounded energy, but an energy that likes to work. Okay, she has a very good, strong work ethic, and she was always busy. If not with TLC, she was always working with other performers, helping them to get their projects up off the ground. Here you see she left on the 2-5 energy, but it makes that 7 vibrational energy there. Lisa Lopez was very connected to God, very strongly rooted in her spirituality, and like I said, she was interested in New Age thought like numerology and yoga, and she understood the concept that death is not the end. It just energy just transforms, and she was very correct in her assessment on that point. But then over here in 2002, you see she dropped down and make another 4 energy. Now these 474 patterns creates that 22 pattern. The 2 energy is a very soft energy. You see how it bends over to offer assistance, but she also came back with another 4 energy. And those 4s created her wealth. That's that 8 energy there. But the 2 energy was saying that this is an individual that wasn't so hard that she couldn't show some type of flexibility. Okay? And then when you look at the numbers this way, you can see I stack them up this way, vertical, and you can see the compound number of 2031. But once again, that balancing act that was taking place, the 2 and the 3 makes the 5, and the 3 and the 1 makes the 4 vibrational energy. So the 5 and the 4s was keeping each of those numbers in check, and she left on the 3 energy, which the 3 energy rules the voice and the mouth and communication. So she was known to speak her mind, and together the age core and the major core bridge makes the bridge of a number 9. And when I drop down here in her birth cycles, you can just see just how prevalent her 9s are. But look at this. She's born in the month of May. You see that 5 energy there? But you see how she had that discipline, how she was able to keep that 5 in check? Not all the time, not totally, because, she was known to do some impulsive things. But this 4 energy kept her focused. She was born on the 27th, once again, which makes that 9 energy, but you see the softness of the 2 and the very strong spiritual rootedness of the 7, which makes the compassionate 9, in the year 1971. And once again, you see the 2 ones make a 2 energy. The 7 is very spiritual in nature, and it drops down to make another 9. Those 2 nines are the very strong humanitarian. But look at the destiny. The destiny is a 5 energy. But she left on a 6 energy. Y'all see that right there? She left on a 6 energy, but she was her destiny was a 5 energy. And you look at all these 5s that was lining up. Her pattern was 599. Let me see. Here we go. 599. So, but the energy that sits between the 5 and the 9 is another 5, because 5 plus 9 is 14. The 2 nines come back to make a 9, then the 9 and 5 makes another 5. So you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5 fives there, which is 25, which makes a 7 energy. But all all those 5 energies, if it weren't for these 4 energies, if she wasn't cultivating strength and discipline and focus, this energy would have just been like scattered, just all over the place. But because of those 4s and those 8s was help to keep that 5 energy in check, to help it keep it grounded. The 6 energy helped to keep it grounded, and so she was able to achieve a lot of success. Now, the 5 energy rules travel. Okay, and she did lose her life while traveling. She was in a car. It was an accident. She lost control of the vehicle. So you still have that dynamics of the 5 and the 4 playing out, because car is a 13 vibrational energy, and she was traveling. So she did lose her life, while traveling. Moving about. The 5 energies and energy just like to just keep moving. And Lisa Lopes definitely enjoyed moving around. She was all over the place. She was always willing to help other individuals accomplish their dreams, their objectives, their goals. So I hope you guys can see that. I thought that was a very fascinating display of numbers, how she was able to check she was able to grow in maturity and growth, and was able to keep all those 5 energies pretty much in check, according to my observation, just from when I see, from the numbers. When I do these analyses, I've never met these individuals. I only look at the numbers, and spirit instill upon me how to interpret the vibration frequency. I look at the patterns, and then I've been given information on, what that information is saying, and this is what I'm sharing with you guys. So my next video, I'm going to deal with an actress that shared good times with us, Miss Esther Rose. And then later on, I think I'm going to take a look at the actor that lost his life yesterday, which was February the 2nd, Philip Seymour Hoffman. I'm going to take a look at his numbers right quick, because I'm just observing that a lot of actors and actresses and performers, they're having trouble on the 5th level, which is the level of the 5 physical senses. They're having trouble in saying, no to habits that is very detrimental. And of course, one of those habits is just the intake of drugs. And unfortunately, Mr. Hoffman, once again, for all of his fame and all of his wealth, there was still something lacking. And I'm going to take a look at the numbers to see if I can uncover what energy that was lacking that made him feel as though that he needed that outlet, that drug. even though God had blessed him with so much talent, you know, he still felt empty. And so, anyhow, I might take a look at that energy later on in the week. But my next one is going to be Miss Esther Rose. So until the next time, keep your heads up. Understand that you are a bright and morning star, and the star resides into the heaven. The earth is a heavenly body. The earth is not separated from the universe, and nor are you. Peace.